Now, the book's called The Reason for God, as we've heard. But isn't that, frankly, a contradiction? How can you possibly say that religious belief is somehow about empirical science, when in fact most of us understand religious belief to be about faith? Mm-hmm. So how can you call it the reason for God?
I think most people would say that empirical science is under the larger heading of reason. And my whole point in the book is to say that it's very reasonable to believe, and let me put it negatively. I would actually say that it takes as much faith or more to disbelieve in God than to believe. In other words, my point here is, yes, it takes both reason and faith to disbelieve and to believe. And I'm trying to say that it takes as much faith, if not more, to disbelieve in God than to believe. That's the actual thesis of the book.
My question to you, though, is surely it's virtually impossible to test the hypothesis or a hypothesis for the existence of God or the existence in some spiritual state of Jesus Christ. Surely what we're talking about is what you can believe as opposed to what you can prove.
No.
Why not?
It's actually probably impossible to prove anything. For example, you can't prove that your memory works because you have to rely on your memory in order to even begin talking about it. You can't prove that your cognitive faculties work. You can't prove, there's almost, philosophers will tell you this, there's very few things you can prove. Now, does this throw us back into relativism? No. What it means is you have to, in a chastened way, move ahead and see these different positions that people have, and you have to decide which one's better, knowing you can never absolutely prove one over the other, but knowing some make more sense than others. And that is a choice you have to make. You have to decide which of these various positions about God or non-belief in God make more sense. That's basically a reasonable process.
So what you're saying is that you are taking viewpoints, atheism, agnosticism, Christianity, faith, whatever you want. You're taking viewpoints and you're saying that each one of those viewpoints requires an element of faith.
Yes, but everyone also requires an element of reason. That is, ultimately, when you decide this makes more sense than that, you are looking for reasons that one makes more sense than another. And yet I'm actually saying that underneath all positions is faith. So instead of saying, I'm rational, you have faith, the fact is that faith and reason is mixed in with every position that you hold. And I'm saying, actually, that Christianity and belief in God makes a great deal of sense. And I would say makes more sense than disbelief. That's the thesis of the book.
For more information about the Veritas Forum, including additional recordings and a calendar of upcoming events, please visit our website at veritas.org.